Isn't that something occultic, I would say? Because some of you might be in a cult and you don't know that. Hello to every amazing follower of Being Real George. It's so good to have you right back again. So today we are looking at a particular subject. My pastor protects me from evil spirits, or would I say, my pastors protects me from the hands of the enemy.
I know I'll be quoted tomorrow. I'm ready for their war. If the revolution does not begin in the church, it cannot spread. If it does not begin in the mosque, it cannot spread. I am telling you, except those institutions change, Nigeria will never change. They control the soul and minds of millions of people.
Hola! Topada, tepede, topada, tepede, ro, 𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐿.
I've been going through your comments on my videos and I thought it wise to maybe react to some of them in videos because I listen to people. I'm a good listener. That's how I create content, because if I'm not listening to the people I talk about or the things they say, how else am I able to play their videos and think on them in videos? So I decided to listen to most of your comments, and I'll be looking at one of them which I find really interesting. Some of you have seen these comments before on my community tab, for those of you who are really core followers of me, because for you to see my community post, that means you watch my videos for a considerable number of minutes. That makes YouTube think that you should see my community post. But I thought to make a video about this so that maybe other people can get to learn from it. So the video I made about Tunde Bakari attacking Oyedepo, some of you said I talked too much in that video. But the thing is that, please, you have to understand me. I'm a trend analyst. The idea for it to be a trend is that you know the trend already. So when I'm talking about it, that means you're already seen the video. I just analyze trends. So this person said 𝐓𝐔𝐍𝐃𝐄, I think that's your name, and the comment is on your screen right here. He said, be careful when your pastor is involved in this analysis. If the analysis draws you into doubt, disdain, and slight dislike for your pastor, boom, you will start receiving spiritual attacks. So he thinks that when my analysis gets into pastors, please, for those of you who are meeting me for the first time, I don't just talk about pastors or what happens in church. I talk about the government too as well. I talk about music. I talk about a variety of different things that are trending, okay? But it's because you guys only get to see more of pastor content. That is why YouTube only shows you that, because they know that that's only what you're interested in. So don't blame me. Blame the system. All right, so I replied the person, I was like, when you dislike your pastor receive spiritual attacks, where is this doctrine from? I want scriptures, please, because it makes no logical sense to me. Okay, let me ask my community. That's how some of you got to know about it on my community tab. So because for me, when I tell you guys I like things that make logical sense, I want something that when someone is watching it on their phone, it makes sense to them.
Oh my God! Wow!
Some things you cannot logically explain them, but I want to make videos people can understand when they're watching. That is my goal right here. So he said spiritual things are spiritually discerned, not logically discerned, correct? So when the spiritual covering of your father over your head is broken by reason of contempt or disdain emanating from wrong exposure to information from media nights, okay, like maybe someone like me, I guess, you are open to attacks from the enemy. I was like, wow.
Hola! Topada, tepede, topada, tepede, ro, 𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐿.
Wow. Like, where is this doctrine coming from? Because that's why I think I begged you guys many times over time. If you think that when I analyze utterances that men of God make, because I respect everyone, if you call yourself a man of God, I call you a man of God. If you don't like the energy, or would I say the vibe my opinions make about things I talk about, you know, men of God or something, please unsubscribe from the channel. I would beg you 1,000 times.
Really, nigga?
Because for me, it's not really all about the numbers, I would say, even though I like it when you guys subscribe.
I just love you. Continue your good work.
It's about that paradigm shift I can make you have in your thoughts, that these people are human beings. They can make mistakes. I can make mistakes. I'm not perfect myself. But to a great extent, we get to learn from these things. And I also get to ask you questions because some of you know them too well than I do. I've told you guys many times, I'm not like Pentecostal. I come from a Catholic background, so I think differently. when I saw this, I was like, what is this? I had to read it again, like seriously, that if whatever I say makes you feel somehow about your pastor, that you are open to attacks from the enemy. So I now started to think, like, seriously? And I was like, oh, yeah. He now said, so when I said I was going to ask my community, like some of you that really are active in my community tab, he said, so community has become your brain, like you usually say. The Holy Spirit that you should ask. So I should ask the Holy Spirit why, if you don't like your pastor, or if you start thinking of your pastor in a different way than you thought of him before, that watching a video like maybe my videos would make you open to attacks of the enemy or that kind of thing. And I'm like, what do they teach you guys in church? Like, when has your pastor taken the place of God in your life? Where has your relationship with God yourself being more of like a relationship with your pastor? Because if you for any reason get to dislike your pastor or whoever is your father in the Lord, or maybe don't agree, that's why you see sometimes I told you guys there was a time that Apostle Suleiman said in his video that if I say anything here, you should go and ask God.
Only the Spirit of God can reveal something to you. If I talk to you in this church about anything, go back and ask God. The Berea Christians, Acts 17:11, we are not just Christians who we are researching. They are the traits. They were noble.
A couple of other pastors have said some kind of things that make them look as if they are gods of men, as if that they have charge over your life ahead. But please do tell me, my dear wonderful viewers, I don't know. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real.
I just love you. Continue your good work.
Like Adiola would say, I don't know. That's why I make these videos, because I learn more from you guys. I like. For real, I will tell you guys that. So when you guys comment like this, I now get to know what really goes on in the Pentecostal circle, what makes them think the way they think, what makes them worship their pastors like they are gods, and what makes them come out this way like very furious or something when I say something that they don't like about their man of God or something. But of course I respect everyone I talk about, but if I'm seeing comments like this in the comment section, it only leaves me worrying how deep we have gone in this whole Christianity, this whole, like, call it Pentecostalism, this whole whatever that goes on in the church. Because when people like Tunde Bakare will say that they themselves as GOs control the souls and minds of millions of people, it makes sense when I see comments like this, because some people, and that's why YouTube keep putting my video in front of your face. Why? Because it's very simple. You like watching videos about this particular man who is your man of God. So when once a video with that particular name comes up, you will click to watch. Why? Because that is what you're interested in. Do you understand? So please, my dear wonderful viewer, I think there was a comment after that. Someone here, Sam Ayebola, said, you don't know jack about the things of a spirit. Wow. It's obvious that you are one of those religious brainwashed gullible pounds who rely on their pastors for common sense. Of course, I always preach here on this channel, common sense is key when it comes to the things I say. So you choose a relationship with flesh and blood over with God himself. Study the scriptures for yourself and stop believing every trash you hear from your so-called fathers who are aliens to divinity. Wow, this was really an interesting comment, okay? Because for me, I will not come in the comments and really argue and fight with you over what you believe in, because I have what I believe in, you have what you believe in yourself. But when I look at things like this, I think it's really important for me to like bring them and discuss them with you guys, because I don't think for a person personally that you having some form of maybe disagreeing with your pastor with what he preaches or something or whatever would make his covering. When did your pastor have a covering over you? Like where did we get this thing from, that your pastor has a covering over you, that if you don't like him in your heart, or if you don't like a particular teaching, does it mean that whatever your pastor says you have to take it hook, line and sinker? Because if you don't like a particular teaching that he gives, or something that doesn't really go in line with the scriptures, that means his covering will leave you and enemies will now come and attack you. Isn't that something occultic, I would say? Because some of you might be in a cult and you don't know that for a fact. You don't know. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I was so astonished when I got to say this in the comments. But I'll look at a couple of other comments as we go on. But tell me what you think in the comment section. Guess what? I don't know much. I'm just keeping it real. See you guys in my next video.
Voila! topada, tepede, topada, tepede, ro, kat, pidai.